We are here on this beautiful March 6th for Algebra 2, Lesson 6-9, solving rational equations. We have 2 days back-to-back of solving rational equations. Today is solving rational equations, tomorrow solving slightly harder ones, but still solving rational equations. Alright, so let's put the date. It is the 6th, 3/6. So as we saw on our warm-up, whenever we have fractions, alright, Chris is in cheerleader garb.
Miss Heather said that I needed to be ready, so.
What?
There's like the tryouts for this cheerleading thing, so I'm done.
Alright, I don't think they're cuts, so I think you made it. Good job.
There's probably no
No, there is. Good job, Chris.
Alright, Chris, before you change out of that, we need to take your picture. Yep, your book. Alright. Coming back, whenever we have two fractions set equal to each other, rational expressions, again, rational just means fractional. That means we need to what? What did we learn from the warm-up? The strategy is to...
Cross multiply.
There it is. Cross multiply. Write it down. And if you don't have two fractions, the first step is to make fractions. Make fractions.
No, but it's okay because he's got.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're really confident on your cross multiplication, you can ignore that first step because you know how to cross multiply. For example, on 1, I don't have step 1 done. I don't have fractions, so if I treat 4 over 1 as a fraction now, then I can cross multiply. So that's doing step 1. Are we all comfortable doing dividing by 1? Dividing by 1? Okay. So that's our first step. All right, someone lead us through the cross multiplication. Quiet raised hand. Who's going to do it for us? Lead us through the cross multiplication. Only one person can do this? Only one person is raising their hand with their card? It's Gio. Go for it, Gio.
Only one person? Oh,
So, on top, we're going to have 20K, yeah?
All right, so going in that direction is going to be 20K.
Yeah.
Next direction.
And we're going to have 4K minus, wait, what do you do?
4K minus
12.
12. Perfect. Thank you, Gio. You can turn in your card. And since I'm on my computer, I can come back here and be like, immediately, yeah, that's 50 XP. All right. From there, what do we do? I need one volunteer to solve the rest of this for us. This is nice and easy. Algebra 1 review. Quiet raised hand. Who's going to do this for us? Stego, go for it.
You can. It's just steps, but it's easier for me to divide. You can add 12 to the other side, and then divide it by 4K with 20.
Add 12 to that side. And then you said eventually divide by 4, so you're a step ahead of me.
You can divide by 20K, but it just makes it
Yep, so that's going to be equal to 20K plus 12. And then from there, I'm going to divide a thing by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. And if you are getting tired of showing all of your steps in Algebra 1, that's okay. You can start skipping steps. I trust that you're doing the math correct, but if you start making math errors, then I'm going to make you show your work. But you are at the point now, I think from now on in your mathematical careers, that you can skip steps. If you just write K is equal to, oh, what are we doing here? Yeah, so we were not actually doing this problem correct. This is why we need to show our work.
Oh, you have to show your work.
All right, let's back up here.
easier.
So adding 12 to both sides, Stego, is not actually going to help us solve this. You're going to be running like a hamster in a wheel, just doing the same thing over and over. Try doing something else.
Gio has a card.
Gio, turn in your card. You already participated. Stego, subtract something else.
Gio can answer for me.
4K.
There you go. Minus 4K. Again, and it's funny that I made that comment right as we made a mistake.
Yeah.
But in general, if you are really confident with your Algebra 1 skills, you can skip steps. There we go. No, Chris, we're supposed to... Plus, you're not in a locker room. You can't change in here, Chris. It's not a locker room. Don't make me write you up.
Oh,
Oh.
why do you have so many shirts?
He's like, wrong shirt. You're like, wrong one. Oh,
I'm telling you, bro, they gave me the full uniform.
That's a skirt.
All right. From here, I'm going to divide both sides by K. By 16, not K. I don't know what I'm saying. Divide by 16, divide by 16. And I'm left with K is equal to, and I need to reduce this fraction. Another quiet raised hand. Gio has his hand raised, but he doesn't have his card raised because he doesn't have a card. Teflon!
What are we doing?
Reduce the fraction.
Oh, is it -3/4?
It is indeed negative 3 over 4. I can divide the top and bottom by 4. So divide by 4, I get negative 3. Divide by 4, I get 4. There's our answer. K is indeed equal to negative 3/4. Go ahead and turn in your card. Thank you, thank you. So Teflon is in. She's Gucci. What level are you, Gio? Gio, you are level 5.
I told you, you didn't have a take them.
All right, I guess technically everyone came in and they immediately started working on the warm-up, so I can give you all the...
Wait,
Oh.
can I turn in my card too?
Everyone did the quiz. Everyone did the enter correctly. Everyone got 70 XP. All right, please turn in your card, Seiko.
Where are you gonna turn it?
You can toss it to Chris. All right, so now we have a harder example. Example 2. This doesn't get as hard as tomorrow's lesson. Tomorrow's lesson is going to be basically 2 of these guys. Instead of 1 of these guys set equal to a nice easy number, it's going to be 2 of these guys, and it's going to be really hard. So, again, I'm going to cross multiply. Who can help us set that up? James, go for it.
That'll be 2 over 1.
Okay.
I got you.
Tell me what to write, James.
Okay, what?
Which way are you going first? Are you going this?
No.
All right, so what do you get?
9b
9v squared.
minus 14b
Got it.
plus 1.
Plus 1. Okay, do the other side, James.
8b squared minus 14b plus 26.
There it is. All right, James, thank you. You can turn your card. Where does math come from?
Yeah, where does math come?
Distributed into 2.
So you multiply everything by 1?
So, Chris, we were cross multiplying by 2, so this 2 got distributed into each of these terms.
Do you always bring that number down?
They're just like
You always cross multiply.
Wait, but
Why don't
Yeah,
I
that's
numbers
one
and letters
Just
together?
stuck to 40.
yo.
Yeah.
Like for the
Why
first
don't you
one,
just stick
like,
to 1?
We multiplied 1 to everything.
you
Choo,
always,
choo, choo.
like, you always bring down the 1.
The A1, but
If there isn't a number, then make it into a fraction.
Who was sitting there
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah, got it.
Maybe.
Yeah, we didn't bring down a 1, we just divided by 1. All right, I need someone to solve this for us.
huh,
Gio's ready to go, but I need to call someone that has a card still.
do we
Ever.
have to do a ninja star?
No, let's go ahead and put everything on one side first.
What
Okay.
side?
Let's put everything on one side.
Can I subtract 8b squared?
Let's subtract an 8v squared. I need to write my 8s differently, like this. 8v squared. What else can we subtract or add to both sides?
We can add 14b.
Add 14v to both sides
Subtract 26.
and subtract 26. We can do it all at the same time. Minus 26. I don't know what I'm right there. Minus 26.
So much.
And boom, that cancels out. I'm going to do this in a different color. Boom, that cancels out. Boom, that cancels out. Boom, that cancels out. Ooh, that happens to cancel out as
Oh, you
well.
put everything on one side.
Oh, man. All right, so Eva Lurler, what goes on the right side? 1 or 0?
0.
1
No.
can't be.
Everyone hold up 1 or 0. I want to see, get a poll of what we all think. 1 or 0. Everyone hold up either 1 or 0. Gio, that's 10.
No. This is 1, this is 0.
Oh, that's 1 and 0, so you're still holding up the wrong thing.
Oh.
It is indeed 0.
That's
Yeah,
what-
if I get rid of everything by subtracting or adding, I'm left over with 0. If I get rid of things using division, I'm left over with a 1. All right, and then on the left-hand side, Eva, can you just finish it off for us? We have a
b squared
v squared
minus 25.
minus 25. There it is. Thank you, Eva. You can turn in your card. That was a lot of heavy lifting. Whew, I feel smarter already. All right, v squared minus 25 is equal to 0. How do I solve this equation? Any ideas? I see 2 hands. I'm going to give priority to the cards. Yes, Andrea.
Wait.
Do you have a question?
25.
I was going to say, what was your question?
Oh.
You add 25.
Add 25 to both sides?
Equals 25.
Oh.
B equals 5.
So you're correct all the way to the last point.
It's equal to
So-
negative 5 or
All right, I'm going to do this in 2 different methods. I'm going to do it Andrea's way and then someone else's way. So this is going to be Andrea's way. Andrea's way is adding 25 to both sides to get v squared is equal to 25.
Wait, there's more
I
than
like
one
that.
way?
Yes, math has like thousands of ways. This is one case where you just have 2.
stick to one way.
Yeah, dude, like, you're not trying to confuse me.
I want to stick to one way, but I like Andrea's way a lot, so I want to show it this way.
Yeah.
Andrea said add 25 to both sides, and then you'll get v squared is equal to 25, and then square root both of these sides. When I square root both of these sides, you get an answer that is not quite what she said. She said 5, which is half correct.
Then Geo said it.
Be negative.
Negative 5.
No. So whenever you take the square root, you have to do plus or minus. So v is equal to plus or minus 5. And that's just a quick way of writing it's both negative 5 and positive 5. It's just a shorthand way of saying it. So that's our answer using method 1. Here's method 2.
Don't do it.
Here is method 2.
Wait, so the answer is 5 and negative 5?
The answer is 5 and negative 5, or plus or minus 5. Yeah.
Wait, what?
I want to show you the second way of solving it, which you're going to be using on most of these problems. Here's the second way of solving it. Factor this as a difference of squares.
Nah.
Factor this as a difference of squares.
I think I like it. I liked it.
I liked it too, that's why I did it. Factor this as a difference of squared. V plus something, V minus something. Who can do that for us?
Gotcha.
No one else wants to do it? Then Gio, go for it.
Oh.
Plus 5. Minus 5.
There it is. And then I set each of these equal to 0. This linear pair set equal to 0. This linear pair set equal to 0. When I set v plus 5 equal to 0, I get v equals negative 5. When I set this linear pair equal to 0, I get v
Plus 5.
equals 5. There's our other answer.
I mean, it's the same thing.
It's-
It's,
it's-
just much more work.
I don't know about I mean, it's less lines of writing.
No, you wrote more lines if you think about it.
More ink maybe was used.
I mean, it's,
More
it's not
virtual
ink,
ink.
It's like paint.
Okay. Either way,
Like,
either way of these is a valid way of solving it. The problem with Andrea's way is it doesn't work very well when I have something like this form of 4v squared plus 36
Dude, yeah, it works.
equals to 0. Because what you would do is you would
Bro,
divide each term. Oh, that would actually work. Let's do something that doesn't work. This one doesn't work.
We're not.
Okay, so tell me how to
alright,
solve
yeah,
this
that
one.
doesn't work, I guess.
What are you thinking of doing? Divide everything by 4?
5.
No.
Because then you have to square root a
It's
negative.
2v,
Or something
2v
like
plus.
Oh, sorry. Let's make this minus 25. You're right.
So it's 2v plus 5 and 2v minus 5.
Well, you're factoring it. I want to see Andrea's method on this one. That is perfectly valid.
So we add
I'm gonna give you
25
XP.
to the other side.
So Gio, I'm gonna give XP, and Gio, I think you also got XP for doing this problem. Say again, Eva.
You add 25 to the other side.
Okay, so I have 4v squared is equal to 25.
Oh wait, now I see it. You're gonna
You
end
can
up with
divide.
2v, aren't you?
You're
On
gonna have
one
these.
side, and then it's gonna equal 5. 2v equals 5.
If I square root both of them,
Yeah.
so if I square root this one and square root this one, then I'm left with 2v is equal to 5
And then
plus or minus 5.
v equals 5 to 2.
So then v equals 2 plus or minus 5. Something is going on here.
Yeah, it doesn't work. That's
Why does this not work?
I don't know, but it doesn't work.
I guess you were right.
Oh, here's the reason why this doesn't work, because you also have
Don't be flexible.
plus or minus on this side as well. I think. Is that right? No, that's not right. It's only plus or minus on that side. Why does this not work?
I think it's just no, that has to be plus or minus.
It's a new process.
It's just a new problem.
You only do plus or minus because this thing is being squared. You do plus or minus on the thing that's not being squared, I believe. So plus or minus is on the right side.
Okay, it doesn't work.
Maybe Fiona's right. I don't know. I just know that it's much, much harder to do this. Let's come back here and undo that.
Next problem.
All right, next problem on the back. Last problem. Let's do this. Who's gonna help us set it up? Who still has their car that needs to get in?
I got you. You got it?
I think it's Chris and Fiona. Chris, yeah, go for it.
So, can you guys shut up?
Yeah.
Be nice about how you ask it, Chris. Can you please allow me the opportunity to participate by
I
silencing?
did say please.
You did say please, but then you said shut up. All right, 13
So, you put over 1.
over 1, then.
Then it's 9y squared minus 1.
So you're cross multiplying right now, right? So you did this one, and you got 9y squared minus 1.
No, with 13 times 6.
Okay, 13 times 6.
78y. 98y.
98?
No.
78.
Bro, obviously.
13 times 6
78.
is 78.
Alright.
78.
And y.
Why?
And then what's 13? What's
Y, y.
26? Plus 26.
Plus 26. There it is. Thank you, Chris. You can turn in your card. And then
Now.
Fiona is going to do the rest of it for us. Go for it, Fiona. So we're going to try to move everything to one side, just like we did with this last problem. Okay. Yes. So you're right in thinking you can subtract 9y squared, but don't write it down, everyone. Sorry. So by subtracting 9y squared, you are moving everything to one side. The problem with that is normally when we've been doing our factoring, and by the way, factoring is going to be the way you're going to be solving all these at the very last step. When we factored, this leading term needs to be positive because otherwise it messes up our ninja star. So knowing that that 9y squared needs to be positive, let's move everything to the left-hand side. So let's make a note here. This whatever term to the y squared, this thing needs to be positive. Needs to be positive. I mean, I could, Chris, I could bury you in the formal way of doing mathematics and I say, oh, the coefficient of the second degree term needs to be greater than 0, which is a fancy way of saying, hey, that thing in front of the y squared, make it positive.
Okay.
Okay. So if it's going to be positive, Fiona, lead us through it again. Y and we're going to move everything to the left-hand side. So I'm going to move this 26 by, there it is. And then what is my new line going to read? Yep, 9y squared minus 78y minus, are you saying 27? I can't hear. 27, okay. Do you have a sore throat? Oh, okay. And what's going to be on the right-hand side, Fiona? 0. All right, thank you. You can turn in your card. All right. Next. What to do, what to do. There's a common factor in everything. Who sees it? Greatest common factor. Andrea kind of sees it. Gio's pretty confident. James is thinking about it, almost ready to leap on it. There's a common factor in each of these terms. I know that Eva and Andrea have it because they whispered it to each other. Yeah, Eva. Eva, what do I factor out?
Is it 3?
It is indeed a 3. So I'm going to factor out a 3. So I'm going to leave out a 3, and I get 3y squared minus, and then this is going to be 26. 26y minus, this is going to be 9 is equal to 0. All right, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So divide this whole side by 3, divide this whole side by 3. The 3's cancel out. Hooray, they're gone. And I'm left with 0. So now my new equation reads 3y squared minus 26y minus 9 is equal to 0.
That's
That's a lot of work.
I made it easier. We were going to have to factor 9y squared, 9 times 27, and then find something that added to 78. I made it slightly easier. Now we do Ninja Star. All right, let's do it on the side. Ninja Star over here. All right, let's do this one rapid fire to finish it off. On the very, very top number is going to be negative 27. Bottom is going to be negative 26. Top left, top right are both 3y. There it is. All right, now I need the factors of 27 that add to 26.
Negative 27 and 1.
Negative 27 and 1. There it is. And we can't reduce the right-hand side. We can reduce the left-hand side. Left-hand side reduces to y over what?
7.
9.
No one has said it correct. Andrea was the closest.
9. 10.
Negative 9.
Negative 9.
Negative 9. There it is.
Jeez.
Yeah, you guys are on it. I like it. All right, so now this factors as y minus 9 and 3y plus 1. All right, now we set both of these equal to 0. So I say y minus 9 equals 0. So I'm doing this. There's two problems now. I have y minus 9 is equal to 0. And the other problem that I have is 3y plus 1 is equal to 0. This is by the zero product property. If I have a times b equal to 0, either a or b are 0, or both of them could be 0.
Wait, when do we have a test on this?
Test is not going to be till next week.
And it's gonna be a big one, right? Cause like.
It's going to be big, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. It's going to be mega. If you guys want to hear or see the timeline of what's happening, we are on lesson 6-9, so we don't actually have a test for at least, not next week, probably the week after that. Because here we are on Wednesday, then you can just go down by day. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which means the next Monday after that you have a quiz. The Tuesday is going to be our test, unless snow days or weird things happen where we have to push it back. In fact, I'm pretty sure we have to push one back because we have 2 ski days coming up. We have 2 ski days. We have a ski day on the 14th, which is also the long poly trip, and we have a ski day on the 21st. So that test is probably going to be pushed back all the way to this Thursday on the 28th. So on the 28th, that's our tentative test date. All right. That was a good tangent. Coming back. Y minus 9 set equal to 0. 9, yes. Y is equal to 9. And finally, y is equal to... Oh my god, you guys are killing it. Yeah. There they are. I will have this note because I actually did the Khan Academy homework right before I did this. On Khan Academy, when there's 2 answers, you have to enter the smallest one first. And by smallest, I mean most negative. So if I were entering these in order, first I would enter negative 1/3, and then I would enter 9. It does matter. You will get it wrong if you enter them backwards. It doesn't like it. I don't know. It should be smart enough to know both of them, but whatever. There they are.